these police officers pulled over a suspicious car. When they searched the vehicle and opened the trunk, they were in for the shock of their lives.
Whoa. Whoa.
You'll find out in just a moment what horrifying discovery the officers made, because in this video we're showing you the most shocking police discoveries ever. Let's begin with an absolutely devastating house search. On the night of May 22nd, 2019, Michigan police received an anonymous tip, telling them to investigate a house on North Maple Street in Sturgis because a missing person was apparently inside. The officers followed up on the tip that same day and were standing at the front door of 35-year-old Wade Allen's house that night.
Hi, Wade.
Hey, Wade. How you doing, man?
Hey, how you doing?
We're looking for Kelly. KJ?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard from that person in some months.
Well, we just need to talk to her.
Oh, well,
Do you mind if we come and look, see if make sure she's not here?
I could tell you she's not. I mean, you know,
All we gotta do is verify she's not here, and then we can get out of here and be done with it.
if you guys want to come by another time, just not right now. Let me at least have a day where I can clean up and do things.
He eventually agreed to let them in for a moment. One officer took a quick look around the apartment and immediately noticed something suspicious.
What's in the cooler?
Oh, that's for when the summer comes around. I'm gonna have parties and stuff, so.
All right, no problem. Can you open that for me, and then we'll get out of here?
Well, not right now, I can't. I want to save that for later.
Okay.
For when the summer gets here, so. But I showed you, she hasn't been here in forever.
Okay. Well, why don't you just open that cooler and we'll get out of here? I just want to make sure anywhere that she could be hiding.
She's not gonna be hiding.
Well, okay. I just need to know that, okay?
No, I mean, I can help you out there, but I've shown you everything.
Okay. All right. Can you open the fridge for me? Make sure she's not hiding in there?
There's no point in the fridge either. It's just food and stuff.
I understand.
That immediately raised the officers' suspicions, which is why Wade was then asked to put on his shoes so the police could arrest him and take him to the station. After that, the officers turned their attention to the cooler, already fearing the worst.
Now remember, when we open this is something that we're never going to be able to unsee. Oh, yeah. Her head, her arms, her breasts. She's been gone for a while. Yep. Her legs are detached.
Inside were the human remains of 42-year-old Kelly Jean Warner Miller, who had been missing for several weeks. While the police continued searching his apartment, Wade Allen was already being questioned at the station. There, he claimed that Kelly Jean had died on her own. He said she had been physically very weak, then fell and hit her head and was found dead in the bathtub one morning. And because he did not know what to do with the body, he decided to simply freeze it.
I wanted to put her all in one so she could be whole. But I couldn't really move her in any kind of way to keep her whole. Nothing I could do to keep her remain whole. That's where I really got first.
So you say you cut her legs. Where did you cut her like that?
This is the most disgusting thing ever. Hopefully you never have to see something like this in your life.
But the police did not believe that story. Then, while Wade was waiting in jail for his hearing, he made the mistake of telling his fellow inmates the real story.
He told us that he physically had this girl down on the bed with a white ribbon around her neck, watching the clock for 5 minutes until she was dead. And he brought her back to life.
He had allegedly done it so he could keep harming her even after her death. Once these details came to light, he was sentenced to decades in prison. Now let's move on to a house search of a very different kind. In April 2025, police showed up at a home in Ogden, Utah, after receiving several calls from neighbors who said they had seen dead dogs lying in the front yard. The officers had no idea what exactly was waiting for them inside the house, but as they walked up the stairs to the front door, they already had a terrible suspicion, because even there, a horrible stench hit them.
Holy shit. Ogden City Police! Search warrant! Come to the door!
There's like 40 right now.
Ogden City Police! You're inside, make yourself known. We have a search warrant.
I was expecting like pit bulls, dude. Just keep going so we can push in.
OPD, if you're in here, make yourself known!
Hey, Timo, you wanna back out? You wanna mask up? It's bad, dude.
Like
Ammonia.
our masks?
Yes.
The ammonia smell inside the house was so bad that they could not endure it without breathing masks. In total, they counted 175 dogs crammed into an extremely small space.
There's about 3 moms with babies. About 7 of them, those bodies full of nails.
In another room, they even found several cats. That same day, animal rescuers removed the animals from the house and distributed them among various shelters and foster homes. Responsible for all this suffering was 75-year-old Miguel Salgado Vargas, who was later charged with animal cruelty. Why he had so many dogs and cats in his home and how he managed to live under those conditions at all remains unknown. Now let's go back to this woman and the mysterious trunk. On May 20th, 2022, 31-year-old Julissa Thaler was pulled over by police in Minnesota because she was driving a badly wrecked car. The rear window was completely shattered and she was missing a tire. Julissa explained it by saying that children had shot at her car with paintball guns. But the officers did not believe her, so they asked her to step out so they could inspect the vehicle. On the back seat, they found very suspicious red stains.
What's with what looks like blood in there?
It's not blood, it's deer meat. I had a big bag of, there's a farm around here that does deer meat and hamburgers, so I get fresh bags from them.
Okay.
Glass bottle over it, sort of throw it out. Also, I like tacos and things.
It was also noticeable that Julissa seemed extremely nervous and kept shifting from foot to foot the entire time.
What do you have in your trunk?
Nothing.
Nothing in the trunk at all?
Nothing.
There's no deer meat or anything in the trunk?
No, sir.
Does anybody else drive your car or just you?
Just me. I understand you want to be good at your job, but I also think it would be really beneficial to just give me a ticket and let me go.
But since the car was far too dangerous to be on the road, they would not let Julissa drive it home. Instead, one officer called her an Uber to take her home. That, however, was a very big mistake, because right afterward, they made another horrifying discovery.
We have not checked the trunk, and I have this terrible feeling about the trunk, and I've had it the whole time. I don't know if we can peek or if we want to leave it alone or knock and say, hey, anyone in there?
They decided to open the trunk right there on the street.
Whoa.
Whoa. That might be the deer meat that she took out of the car to put in the trunk.
Watch yourself. That you don't know if it's loaded or not.
What is this? Yeah. Is it an amp? It looks like a kid's playing. Okay. Oh, hey. We need as many body cams up here as we can, yeah. Let's get some body cams up. We had to safety check this thing. Bunch of shotgun there. There's a shotgun right in your car. There's weights in this blanket.
Holy crap. Alright, let's cover it. Yep.
Inside was the body of a boy whose head was missing. The police then immediately made their way to Julissa's apartment.
Police, come to the door! Police, come to the door! Open the door, we'll kick it down! Open the door! Police, come to the door!
She had already vanished and could no longer be found, but the officers searched her apartment anyway, and they found something that put Julissa at the center of the investigation as the main suspect. A washing machine filled with bloody children's clothes that had just been turned on. The police then had the building's surveillance cameras checked and were able to see that Julissa had left the apartment shortly before with a man. Luckily, she had not made it very far, so a short time later, she was arrested on the street. At the same time, officers made another discovery. In a nearby dumpster, they found a blood-smeared child's car seat and a child's backpack that had been thrown away. Inside were also the ID papers of a 6-year-old boy named Eli Hart, Julissa's son. Later, the child's body in the car was also identified as her son. He had been killed with 9 gunshots, most likely on the back seat of the car. During questioning, Julissa claimed she did not know what was in her trunk. When the police told her it was a dead child, she did not seem especially surprised or shocked. A few days later, she was questioned again. This time she was confronted with the fact that the dead child was her son, and the police were struck by how convincing her act was.
I don't want him to be involved at all in whatever they're doing, but you confirmed it's 100% my baby boy? I'm not getting an answer from you, yes or no? That's kind of important.
No, that's your life.
So yes? What is that?
You tell me.
I don't know, you tell me.
That's Eli's booster seat. From your car.
Did you find the people who did this?
There was already so much evidence against her that no one believed her. Even her boyfriend Rob was convinced that she had killed her own son.
She's the only person that had it done. The only person.
You can't say I know for a fact.
She's the only one that had access to that gun, not me. I didn't know where it was. She put it away in storage or something, she said she did. And supposedly the same night that he dies. That's pretty f***ed up.
In fact, Julissa had bought a gun just a few days earlier. Even though she never confessed to the murder herself, the evidence was enough to convict her of murder. She was sentenced to life in prison. Now let's come to an incident from Arizona that left even experienced police officers stunned. It all began with a disturbing emergency call. Witnesses had seen small hands desperately waving out of the narrow ventilation slits of a moving horse trailer. When officers finally stopped the truck and opened the heavy lock, they were met with a scene straight out of a nightmare. In the oppressive heat of the windowless trailer, several children and women were locked inside, completely unsecured and with no chance of getting help. The group apparently belonged to a radical religious sect, and the adults actually tried to pass off this life-threatening transport as completely normal. But the officers stepped in immediately. They freed the minors, drenched in sweat, and got into a heated argument with the unrepentant sect members. In the end, the adults were placed in handcuffs and the children were placed in the care of Child Protective Services. Finally, let's come to a deeply disturbing case from Louisville, Kentucky, which took place in August 2023. Residents of the Algonquin neighborhood became suspicious of a house that had, for some reason, been completely barricaded. When they then heard screams coming from inside, they immediately called the police. Once there, the officers tried to get inside, but every door had been bricked shut.
Hey, I'm trying to break the window down. Put the door down? Yeah. I got a bunch of loose.
Only a single window on the second floor was open, so the police found a ladder and climbed up. And what they saw was horrifying.
Is anybody else in there? He did what? Is he Hispanic?
Yeah,
Where's
sorry,
the
sir. I know he's got it on his face. And he's got it on his
The woman was chained to the floor with a chain around her neck, locked in place with a padlock. She was visibly traumatized and was immediately freed by the officers and led out of the house. After that, the officers used hedge clippers to cut through the chain around her neck. The woman turned out to be 37-year-old Jonna Wilson. She later said that the house belonged to her ex-boyfriend, Moises May, with whom she has a child. He had asked her to come by to do some cleaning, but instead, he suddenly chained her up.
As soon as I seen him lock the door, I knew I wasn't going to get out. He said, you want to do this the hard way, you want to do it the easy way. And so I want to do it the easy way. So I let him put the chain around my neck. And he started choking me with it.
She then spent 5 hours alone in that room. Out of fear, she smashed the window and screamed for help. It was not the first time Jonna had gone through something like this with her ex-boyfriend. Before that, he had burned all of her clothes, leaving her with only that one outfit.
I just want to see him get in jail. I want justice. I want my daughter to be okay.
2 days later, he was found and arrested. Those were some truly disturbing stories. How would you react if you were a police officer and made a discovery like this? Let us know in the comments.